Okay, the big sports story of the afternoon, the Maxx Crosby update. Trey Wingo says the Cowboys thought they had a deal done for Max last night. Then other teams jumped in and might be offering 2 first-rounders. Trey says now they're going to pursue Trey Hendrickson. So I guess the Cowboys are out on Maxx Crosby now is the update. It's cool to know they're serious about plugging their holes with all pro level players. Let me just say that. Salute to the Jones boys. They're in the big fight now. They're in the real game, and I like that. Jane Slater said, on Max and the Cowboys being in play here, here is what I'm being told from a team source. Raiders are talking to a lot of people, but we would not give up 2 first-rounders. She says that's the situation right now. Will that change? I don't know, but I checked for those of you interested. Did the Cowboys do the right thing here, not giving up 2 firsts?
I think so. Now, look, maybe they decide.
Take your drafting hat off.
Yes.
Take your drafting hat off that you've seen 100 some odd players,
right?
And you're neck deep into this thing.
Mm-hmm. Which makes it obviously harder.
But you keep your team building hat on.
But I don't think at this stage, and I would give up 12.
As much as you cheer for Dak.
I would give up 12. I would go as high as that.
Okay.
But I don't think I can go 12 and 20. Would I be open to saying, okay, I'll give you a 1 and I'll give you next year's 2? Yes, I would do that.
Give me a combination, since you studied the draft as well as you do, and you're really good at it. That's going to sound like Dawson there for a minute, didn't I? I was kind of like Dawson there. We'll kind of butter you up a little bit.
I appreciate that.
Give me 2 players at 12 and 20 that you would take combo platter better than Maxx Crosby.
Ooh.
And I know I put you on the spot there.
Yeah, I mean, Downs at 12, if you were to fall there.
That's fair.
And then at 20, Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay.
Yeah, and I look at it like also in free agency, it's not like you don't have to get somebody that's still a really good edge player. You could go get the Trey Hendrickson. You could go get the Jalen Phillips.
Yeah.
You know, you could get a handful. There's a handful of these guys that you can still get a quality player there without giving up the assets. If I'm giving up the 2 1s, I'm going to need a second-round pick in return. I'm going to need, hey, if I'm giving you 2 1s, Vegas, I'm getting your second-round pick.
That'd be a very early 2.
And I'd go with exactly, which is why I'd probably pivot and go with a 3 because I don't see the value there for Vegas if they're going to do that. But I wonder how serious other teams are going to be about giving up 2 2s or 2 1s. And I think that, and I'm being asked this a lot, and Brian, you might have a better understanding of this, because the Cowboys have already agreed to give up the 1 next year.
Right.
And it's the higher of the 2 picks.
Right.
So could they say, you know what, screw it, we want Crosby, we'll give you 12, and we'll give you the lower of the 1s next year? Are they allowed to do that, or can they not move the pick next year?
No, I don't think
they're frozen.
They're frozen.
See, that's a pickle that they're in then.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, I do want Maxx Crosby. And I'd go as high as 12, and I don't think another team in this race other than the Rams at 13 can offer you. None of the teams ahead of you, the top 11 teams, are not in on this, in my opinion. So I think 12
Could Philadelphia offer them their pick and players?
Sure.
Could they give up their wide receiver and a pick?
Yeah.
For this one?
And I thought Chicago was going to do that. I thought Chicago was going to offer a 1 DJ Moore as part of a package. Now, they just traded DJ Moore to Buffalo. But maybe Philly does. Maybe Philly jumps in here and says, we're going to give you a 1, we're going to give you A.J. Brown, and they value A.J. Brown as a 1 and a 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if the rest of the league does. To me, it's crazy that Howie Roseman thinks we're going to get more for A.J. Brown now, 4 years older, than what they gave up to get him from Tennessee, which was just a first-round pick. That's wild, but that's Howie, and I get it. So, I mean,
doesn't really want to trade him.
It's exactly. It's tough for me to move both
because it makes him look bad
at this point.
Yeah, and I think the Raiders want to look good by getting 2 1s. Like, they don't want to be the guys that moved their fan favorite, and Maxx Crosby doesn't want to be the guy that's asking out. I don't know. The way Trey's report read to me was that some teams are now willing to give up 2 1s. Are you calling BS on Trey Wingo with us live at 5?
No, I'm not calling BS on Trey. I think Trey knows, and I think he's spot on because I was getting, and I didn't get it confirmed from anybody that I trust, but I had people reaching out saying the Cowboys are pushing really hard right now for Crosby.
It was exciting last night.
This thing's going to heat up in the next week. And, you know, Jane went ahead and echoed that, and now Trey did. So I think that Trey's saying they almost had a deal done. If they're going to pivot, Maybe they did. Maybe they did get a call. But if that's the case, then why isn't the deal done? With that other team that was going to offer 2-1s. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're trying to stretch the bidding war out and see if they
wait and see if they get another call.
Because I bet right now a team in those 20s is saying, like, yeah, we'd love to get Maxx Crosby. Maybe it's Seattle and they're offering 32 and next year's 1. I mean, if you're the Raiders, would you take that right now? I want to see if that gets better, and we really got to have a conversation. Like, if the Cowboys are offering 12, would you rather have 12 or the Seahawks 1 this year and their 1 next year? Or the Bears? The Bears are picking at 25, 26, and their first rounder next year could be even worse than that. I think you could say that 2-1s looks better in headlines, but 12's the better value, isn't it?
That's what I think. And that's why I still think the Cowboys, unless it's 13 with the Rams, and the Rams are going to say, we'll give you 13 and we'll give you our 1 next year, which they would do. I mean, Les Snead is FM Picks guy. They're super aggressive. I thought this whole time it was Cowboys versus Rams, and I would probably bet on the Rams to get the deal done because they've proven to be the more aggressive of the two teams.
Yeah, I love this meme that's going around to this graphic where over the last 10 years, their first-round picks, they've only picked one of them, and it was Jared Verse. They know what to do. They know what to do with those first-round picks. A lot of different ways to skin the cat. I'm envious of how Les Snead goes about his business, but it's cool, like, so the next thing is keep your first rounders and get Trey Hendrickson, which is apparently
you
what
said
Trey
that
Wingo
a while
says.
back.
Yeah.
I remember you were talking about that a while ago.
Yeah, and I'm excited about either. I mean, you sign a Trey Hendrickson and you draft a Reuben Bain now at 12, and you still have 20. This thing, it might have higher upside than moving even one of your picks for Maxx Crosby, even though he's better and never comes off the field and plays the run equally well, and he's a better player. But Trey's still one of those guys that could go out there and get you 15 sacks next year, totally flip your dynamics in your favor. Okay.
And I would even throw out Jalen Phillips, too. I mean, I know he's younger and maybe he gets more money.
Yeah.
And he's got the injury history, but he's got familiarity now in the Fangio-Parker kind of scheme, playing in Philadelphia for the second half of last year. He's younger. He's a better run defender than Trey Hendrickson. And despite the injury history, he's still a freak athlete. Still has great explosiveness and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, those are options that are out there on the table. Parker obviously has great familiarity now with Phillips, so I'd be interested to know, how he feels about him. But Phillips would be a great addition, too.
And the Cowboys are seriously considering allocating 30 APY on an edge. Anything's possible right now.
Yeah, exactly.